All right, Panther fans. Can we go home now? That's all I had from last night is can we go home now? There's Stu. He's got his victory cigar. We're good to go. We wanted a 3-1-1 trip. We got 3-2. Seattle can kiss the crack in my ass. Stu, how we doing this morning?
Doing okay. I'm just thinking about what's going to be in this. It looks like a 4-horse race
Right.
between us, Tampa, Carolina, and Colorado.
Right.
That's the way it seems to be shaking out. Now, if you look at the standings, obviously we're back in first place.
Yeah.
But Colorado's got 3 games on us.
Ooh.
And believe it or not, Carolina's only played 39 games.
Right. Yeah, because they had a longer COVID shutdown.
We're at 63. I don't know if they have 61, but theoretically,
Right.
those games in hand are won, like Colorado. That's 6 points.
Right.
So, it might look like we're on top right now, but, theoretically, we're really not. So it's still early in the season to be, watching the standings, but we all do it and we all love it when we see us on top. But we just, we can't afford to lose these games. Like last night, let's just say last night was another ugly win.
Yeah.
It wasn't one of those dominating games that, we've come to love. Getting out with 2.5 minutes gone was great, and that just goes to show you when you shoot it on net, you never know what's going to happen.
Yep.
Shoot from all angles. But to let them back in the game 3 times is unacceptable.
I know.
And we let them back in like right away. It wasn't like 10 minutes passed and they scored. I mean, they basically scored within the first minute or 2.
Right.
I mean, you could see on that first goal by Stastny, I mean, Huberdeau was basically right there on him. And you could see his reaction after the goal was scored. He kind of tapped his stick and had that, F.
Yeah.
You could see because, all right, it's great. We're on top of a man, but the object is to prevent him from scoring.
Right. Well, a couple of things I noticed. We'll get into the fun stuff a little bit later, but Bobrovsky, he's done this a couple of times now, and he did it again last night. Usually it's been after the second goal, but last night was after the third goal. It was like the second or the third goal gets scored, and he's like, okay, that's it. You know how we talk about like Vasilevsky had gotten to where like when he decides that's it, there's no more. That's it, there's no more. I'm starting to see that a little bit with Bobrovsky when he gets 2 or 3 let in. It's for the most part he's been like, all right, that's it. Ain't nothing else getting past me. So that's good. That's good to see. And then the other thing is, I guess we'll hit this now since we're on the subject. I would really, we talk about how like when a player is struggling, like when Spencer Knight was struggling or Toronto was struggling, and okay, it's time for them to sit. But the opposite is true, and I was really hoping to see Spencer last night and Bob against Vegas, because with Spencer had such a good game the last night. The last time out, you kind of want to get him back on the ice to let him build off of that. And now if to do that, we're gonna have to throw him out there against Vegas in the first game home after that long trip.
It's gonna be Bob again. I agree with you.
Right.
I mean, we both thought and wanted Knight to be in last night. I really thought he was going to be.
Right.
Just to give Bob, a night off. But obviously, Bruno wants to go with our with our workhorse.
No, I know.
He didn't, Bob got beat at, let's see, with 3 goals. So I'd say at least what's the guy's name?
I'm not sure.
The guy it was his 23rd goal. But the guy that he deked Bob out of his jock.
Yeah, absolutely.
And that was that. I forgot it. I know Connor or something or whatever, but he looked bad on that one.
Right. He didn't
You
look
know,
bad.
the other goal by Dubois in front, that's a bang bang play.
Right.
But here
Yeah.
again, we got our minimum 4 goals.
Right.
You know,
Right.
5
Right.
goals.
Right.
You know, Bob wins the game.
Right.
And I love how on the Bennett, you know, the Bennett goal.
Yeah.
You know, you texted me, and
Yeah.
obviously, you know, we go back to the Denny Poffin quote: "The best pass is a rebound."
Is a rebound.
Don't know why the boys don't do that more often.
Well, they're starting to figure it out a little bit more now, because we've been seeing that where 2 guys are coming in, and you know, for the most part, especially if you got like Duclair and Bennett coming down, especially one of them will usually shoot, and you know, Duclair's had a couple of rebound shots that way with Bennett shooting. Now the other thing, I'm going to say this with a smile, but the coincidences are starting to add up. Now, in our last video, we both said Mason Marchment wasn't himself. And then directly after that, I made a
Not
video.
that it wasn't himself. He wasn't the same.
Right. He wasn't the
as
same.
He was before he got the
Right.
concussion.
Right. And then right after that, about an hour after that, I got pissed off about the Anton Lundell trade stuff and made the video pumping up Anton Lundell. And wouldn't you know it, those 2 guys didn't come out with like something to prove last night. I'm just saying, I know everyone say it's a coincidence.
Yeah, the March.
I'm just saying, we made 2 videos, and those are the 2 players that came out on fire.
Yeah,
coincidence or
laugh.
not.
We got a big laugh about the Marchman thing.
Yeah. Yeah, listen, he's like you said, he's like, screw you, I'm fine.
I mean, the guy could have had 4 goals in the first period.
Yeah.
He, you know, again, these guys continue to try and deke these goalies and go low instead of just going in and stop short, shoulder dip, and then top shelf. Right. You know, so he should have scored on that breakaway, but you know, I was really bummed that he didn't get the hat trick last night.
I thought for sure.
You know, he looked good. That line was great. Yeah. And you know, obviously that was the talk of the game last night. Right. Lundell just continues to chip away with the points, and I've been making a lot of posts today on Twitter, because he's definitely in the conversation for the Calder, but he's now third.
He's been creeping up. Yeah.
So I mean, you know, he gets a point a game, 2 points a game. I mean, he's not going to do it every game, but it's possible. Yeah. You know, he's anything's possible. But if he continues to just stay in the top 3, I'll just be conservative. Yeah. Amongst the rookie scoring, you know, what I've been pointing out to people today is all those other factors are going to come into play. And I should have kept the page. I'm sorry. But there was a whole thing about his stats, and he's first in this and he's first in that. Right. For rookies. Right. See if I can find it. Yeah, here we go. So he's third in goals with 10, fourth in assists with 16. He's first in plus minus with 16, second in even strength goals with 10, fourth in ice time for the game, second in shorthanded time on ice. Obviously, face-offs. He's taken the most face-offs. I mean, it's really an unfair comparison to the rest of the other guys, because someone pointed out that, you know, the guys on Detroit and whatnot, they play the power play. Right. They scored, you know, some of their goals on the power play. Obviously, Lundell doesn't play on our first unit power play. So right. But listen, we know who should be winning the Calder. Now he's just gotta, you know, he's got to stay in, you know, in the scoring race there, and everything else I think will be factored in, and you know, I think he'll win it. Yep. Now I still say he's going to win it.
Took me a while yesterday to figure out the lines. Took me a half a minute to realize that was Reinhardt on the third line, because it would never occurred to me when I heard Manman was in. I figured he was in with Lundell and Marchment. But that line looked pretty good. This continuing rotation at that third winger spot up on the top line, you know, he's put Duclair up there, he's put Reinhardt up there, Manman's had a couple of games. I think everybody on the team has played on that line except for Owen Tippett. So, and I'm not suggesting Owen Tippett play there, but I started to think about this yesterday on the stream. It's been hitting me in the head a couple of times the last couple of weeks. And I mean, I know we got injuries and we really don't really have a massive need, but there's all this talk about, we're going to get a defenseman, a defenseman, a defenseman, a defenseman. I wouldn't, though, put it completely past Zito. Like, if we have to give up a Vetrano and a Tippett, now that's two wingers, you know what I mean? They're taking up ice time. I wouldn't put it past them to pull another, Sam Bennett type deal, or, and pick up that one extra, scoring, top notch winger, and leave the defense alone. I'm not suggesting that that's guaranteed to happen, but I don't know. Because it doesn't seem like Brunette wants to give Heponiemi or Denisenko much of an opportunity, right? They just keep going back between Mammon, Tippett.
I would love to see them bring up Noel just as an experiment.
Right. Every time I say it on the stream, people tell me he's struggling down there. So
yeah, okay.
I don't know.
I
agree with you.
I don't see that happening, Eric. I really don't. It would depend, obviously, who the player is.
Right.
Who were you thinking?
I wasn't. I mean, just like I wasn't thinking, I was thinking something like when we got Bennett, we were like, who, what, how? You know what I'm so I don't expect him. I guess the point is I expect him to surprise us instead of doing like what everybody is thinking he's going to do. I just have a feeling that somehow he's going to pull off two players. He's going to get somebody that'll be good for the back end of the defense and another winger that would fit. Because I think to get guys, we're going to have to give up Vetrano and probably Tippett. And now there's no way around it. You're depleting your depth there a little bit. You're getting rid of two wingers that have basically been on the active roster. And I've talked about that. That's been like my one concern, giving up both guys, then you're really thin after that if you get an injury in the playoffs. So I don't know. It's just a little gut feeling that nothing with Zito would surprise me. We'll put it that way. Everybody's talking all defense, but I'm not convinced that he won't look at a winger if the right person is there.
Right. And that's the thing. If the right person's available for the right price.
Right.
Marchment made a comment and it brought back, obviously the memory that those guys had played together before at the beginning of the year.
That's right.
And that's the line that was killing it before
Marchment got hurt.
Down.
Good point.
So they obviously have chemistry.
Right.
As far as the first line.
Yeah, if you leave Reinhardt there, who are you going to put up top? I mean, Mammon is good and he gets opportunities, but they're trying to turn him into Dadonov, and he's not Dadonov. He doesn't have the scoring touch, not yet anyway. That's part of the reason why I was thinking that we can still score 5 goals a game, but if you're going to leave Reinhardt on that third line, who are you putting up top every night? I guess you could put Mammon, not hurting us, but it's not.
Jeff Carter is center or right wing?
I think he's a center. But I mean,
who could probably play wing, and you got to remember.
Yeah, he could probably play wing.
Trying to get a guy that is a 25, 30 goal scorer, he's not going on a minimum salary.
No, I'm just talking about a rental. Yeah. We were looking at the cap yesterday on the stream, and that's another thing. Like, we're talking about the Yandel cap hit and Barkov's contract, but also for Hagee. For Hagee's contract kicks in next year, and he's 4.2 just about. So to the point that you were making about long-term with Chychrun and contracts and everything, that was one that I hadn't really realized that's going to be a big bump up for him next year. So that leads me more to thinking that Zito might pull off a couple of rentals rather than getting one guy that's going to be in for longer term. You know what I mean?
Yeah. All right. Well, listen, we're still, like I said, we're still, almost 2 months away from trade deadline.
Yeah.
A lot could happen.
Yep.
So what else?
Well, last night, talk about Uyghur.
Yeah, I'm getting more and more frustrated with, and I made a comment to you that he's starting to get that ego thing. Like, I'm Bobby Orr, I can stick handle out of every situation. And he lost the puck a couple of times when he should have passed it.
Right.
he's not making good decisions right now. And I think he's just trying to, he's trying to do too much. I could see Ekblad all alone, waiting for the puck. And, Uyghur skating behind the net or in front of the net. And he's trying to go around the guy, and
Right.
guy stripped him.
Right.
Now I have if you just continue to watch the last few games.
Right. I have a theory on that.
Yeah.
And I talked about this in the recap. And we talked about this last year. You and I talked about it. When the thing that I've noticed with Uyghur is that when we have guys missing and he feels he has to take on the extra responsibility, then he turns into that player. When we've got our full complement of everybody's healthy and he just plays the role next to Ekblad, then he's good. But it's whenever, like we saw in the playoffs last year, whenever he feels like he's got to step up because we've got guys out injured, that's when he makes those mistakes that you're talking about. That's kind of been what I've noticed.
Yeah, but it's costing us.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
And I'm hoping, I'm hoping the coaching staff is sitting him down and showing him on video what he's doing, and it's all a result of him trying to do too much.
And the other thing we were talking about on the stream, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
All right.
The other thing we were talking about on the stream with Uyghur last night is that, when he goes to sign his contract, he's going to be 30. So,
yeah, there might not be room for him, unfortunately.
You see what 30 is.
He's gonna, he's obviously he sees the other guys getting the big money,
right?
And he's gonna want the big money,
right?
And I don't think he's worth 7 million, 8 million.
Right. No, we were talking.
I don't even know if he's worth 6 million. I mean,
last night
the guy's good, but he's not in that great category.
No, well, to what you said, if we lose Uyghur, you move Forsling up. Guess what happens? Nothing. Maybe we get better. You see what I'm saying?
So getting back to you just hit you obviously mentioned Forsling. See what a difference the defense is without Forsling.
Oh yeah. No, I know.
You could see it's just not.
No, Gudis and Montour are not the pair. Gudis and Montour are not the pair.
It screws everything up, but Forsling again is our best defenseman.
Right.
He might not be putting up the offensive numbers, even though he does have 16, 17 assists, 18 assists, whatever.
Something crazy.
And I know he could do more. I'd love to see him start banging in some goals, but we really miss him. So I know he'll be back tomorrow.
Yeah.
Randy told me that he was probably ready to go. He could have played last night, but he wasn't flying all the way out to Winnipeg for one game.
Oh, they had to leave him home because he was on icy. That's right. That makes sense. I see. Yeah, no sense.
Let's talk about Prisky. Actually, Carlson had a better game last night, but I was really impressed. And I made a comment last night, to Jameson's post about him. His previous, trips up here, I thought he was tentative and, didn't have that confidence that I saw last night.
Right.
He was confident. He was steady. I was very impressed last night with his play.
Yeah, I agree with you. He actually made the article today in the section where I talk about players that I love what I'm seeing from. You come in at the tail end of a road trip like that and you don't hurt the team as a kid, then that's good. That's good. And especially like you said, as the game went on, he seemed a little bit more assertive. He didn't look anything like Kierstead has looked, where Kierstead's been very, very
tentative. So here's what I'm thinking about Kierstead.
Yep.
At this point, I think he's part of a package, for a trade.
Right.
Because if we do go, and everybody's blasting Chikrin because he's a minus 27 or whatever.
Minus 31.
He's not whatever, not having a great year. But
no.
I mean, look at Bennett.
Right.
Bennet's numbers were in the toilet before he came here.
Right.
And look what he's doing.
Right.
Tearing it up. So
Right.
I don't worry about, stats,
No,
especially with him playing on, one of, if not the worst team in the league.
right, right, right.
And again, I just think he'll have if we get him, he'll have a rebirth. No
Right,
doubt in my mind that kid will turn into a star player.
right, right,
But I think we're a long way away from getting him. But I think if there was a package to be put together, I think it's going to be, because they're not going to take Vetrano in his contract and his age. So it's
right.
going to be Tippett, Kerstad, and a pick, probably a second. I don't think Zito
Yeah,
would give up.
I'd make that deal. I'd make that deal. And then you still got to flip for Toronto, even just for a pick at the end.
Toronto's going to go. I told you, Toronto's going to go to a cup contending team that's looking for scoring.
Right. Let them go to the West.
And we know Vetrano can score. He's just not getting it done here.
Right, right, right.
And the thing that has really soured me on him, just like it did with Trocheck, is those stupid penalties.
Yeah, yeah.
And then of course the chirping, after he takes it, like,
right.
Like, why did I get the penalty? I didn't do nothing wrong.
Right, right.
You see a blatant slash or a high stick or a hook, and
right.
So I've kind of just like, enough.
Yeah.
He doesn't deserve to be in the lineup.
No, we've got way too much depth. I mean, it's just you see it. But yeah, no, I mean that package. I don't know if they go for that for Trickett or not, but and then like we've talked about, he's got a contract. Well, what'd you say? You said Tippett, Kiersted, and a pick. I mean Tippett's a former first round pick. I'll give you that. I don't know. I'm just going by what has been reported that they're asking for.
We don't know if that, and we don't know if that's, again, just look at the Eichel trade,
right?
And what Buffalo supposedly wanted,
right? And then what they
in exchange for him, and what they actually got. They got Alex Tuck, and
yeah.
He's a good player, but he's no great whoop. So I think that's a good package for Arizona.
Yeah,
you get a young defenseman to replace Chychrun.
Right.
You get a guy that we know can score, maybe in a different environment, with less pressure, because let's face it, Tippett's got a lot. I mean, we got five players now close to 20 goals.
Yeah.
Bennett scored his 18th. He scored his 18th last night.
Right.
So we got Duclair, Bennett, Barkov,
Huberdeau.
I said Duclair. Verhaeghe,
yeah.
So, I mean,
right. No, I agree with you. Look, I like Owen Tippett. Everybody knows that. But you can't fit everybody. You know what I mean?
Listen, I get to the point with players where I just turn off and say that's enough.
Right.
And I really loved Trocheck, especially because when he was at development camp, and I first met him, he was a kid.
Right.
I met his grandmother, and we sat together watching a scrimmage once, and he was, she was telling me a story. So I really liked Vinny.
Yeah.
And obviously, he started out doing real well, and then something happened where his whole attitude and how he played and the penalties, and
right.
You could talk about the injuries and whatnot, but once I saw what I saw, and that was him being a puck hog, and just like not being for the team, but being for him, I said, that's it. Just
I mean, we've talked about it.
I wanted him traded, with him and Matheson. That was all I was talking about.
Yeah.
Get rid of these guys.
Right. Trocheck, like we've talked about, he thought he was going to be the captain, and it went from there. All right. So
he's not doing crap in Carolina.
No. I mean, I know Carolina's good, but I haven't paid attention to his stats. I know he didn't kill us this year. He doesn't have our number finally.
Well, I know
last year, every game was Trocheck beating us.
Yeah. So, like I said at the start of the video, it's you got Tampa, Carolina, and Colorado,
right,
and us, and the Rangers are on that fringe.
Yeah, well, with that goal, it was Shesterkin. They're gonna be on. They've got a goalie and they've got a coach. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So
we'll
still
see
got a
how.
lot of season left. A lot of things could happen.
Yep.
Again, the most important thing for me in this being a successful year is no important player going down with injury.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. No,
I don't even want to think of the consequences.
No.
So let's just hope and pray that everybody stays healthy.
Yeah. No more sliding into the boards. Nobody. Nobody, please. Stop.
But did you notice we were talking about, Marchment, I think, when they're going in the corners, do you continually, and I told you to watch Ekblad, you continue to see Ekblad on a shoot-in and whatnot.
Right.
He stops short.
He stops short.
He does not look to,
Right.
get hit hard.
Right. Well, he learned from Keith Yandel all those years, who we should mention.
4 concussions is enough. Yeah. Listen, we're all happy for Yandel.
Yeah.
The question now is, how long does he run the streak up? Because Kessel's 20 games behind him.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Oh man. Yeah, that's interesting.
If there was nobody else behind him, it'd be a different story. But
right.
I think he goes to 1,000 if he can do it.
Well, that was 965.
965.
Did they have
35 games? Obviously, that's still the rest of the season.
Rest of the season, yeah.
He can get to 1,000.
Yeah.
And then we'll see what happens.
Then we'll see.
Obviously, he's going nowhere with Philly. They're going.
Yeah.
They lost their 13th in a row last night.
Oh my gosh.
Franchise record. Can you imagine?
Jeez. What a cross section there, right? They got the guy getting the Iron Man streak, and when I did a short segment, about a 2-minute segment for a friend of mine. The video is actually going to be out today because he's doing a video tribute to Yandel. So he wanted a couple minutes because he'd been with the Panthers, and when I just wanted to kind of look and do some research and see how he'd been doing, and apparently the fans there, especially social media. Not fans of Keith Yandel, unfortunately, and so it's going to be kind of tough for him to do that, to justify being in the rest of the year. But I didn't realize that Kessel's right behind on this, so that would kind of suck.
Kessel
for
was
him.
at, I think, like 940.
Right. That would suck to get the record and then get scratched, and then Kessel passes him in the same season. That's rough, man. That's a long lot of years to work on a project to have somebody come dumping in the garbage can a month later. That's all right. Nobody deserves that. Let them play.
So anyway, we got Vegas tomorrow.
Yeah.
I'm not happy about that. I don't know how that's gonna go.
No.
And then we got San Jose.
Right.
And then we go back on the road for a few games. Kind of weird to schedule.
Is that right? Let me look at this. Let me look. I know we got the break coming up soon, right? Let's see. Come on, phone. Let's do this right.
Yeah, so we got Vegas. Saturday, San Jose, and then
Right.
Monday's at Columbus. Tuesdays at the Rangers. So another back-to-back.
Right, and then that's the break. So we got
to go to Columbus and then go, well, Ohio to New York is not that far.
No, it's not that bad. It's just having to play the Rangers on the second of a back-to-back. We talked about that. And then we get the All-Star break and we don't play again to the 16th. So I think what we'll do in the mornings when there's no games after, we'll just come on and we'll do puppet shows. He's not even laughing. He's not. Come on, Stu. I'll send you a puppet. Don't you got like a old New York, like Italian voice or something you could mock up for us? What if I send you like a really hot blonde puppet? What about that? Well, we will find ways to fill the content. Let's just put it that way. Oh, poor Stu. Or you should have seen it yesterday on the stream because Steve was talking about how he hates the puppets. And the more that he talks about how he hates the puppets, the more people come on that don't normally comment and tell him, shut the hell up, Steve. I love the puppets. So they're not going anywhere. I've kept the puppet intro short. You know what I mean? I've kept it like 20 seconds and out. So it actually helps because it makes the intro shorter. Because when I got to do a skit with Kyle or something like that, sometimes those can be like a minute and a half, and that's a little bit long for the intro. So anyway, all right, guys, we get 2 points. We had a 3-2 road trip. We're good to go. As usual, we have forgotten to ask you to hit the like button. So let's do that now. Stu will wait. If you guys hit, all right, here's the deal. If we can get 100 likes on a video, Stu will do a puppet. No. 100 likes.
Just hit the like button, okay, guys? It's no big deal. You watch the video, you just hit like. What is it? Just explain to people what it does for the channel and your algorithm and whatnot. People might not understand, like, why is he making a big deal about hitting the like button?
Yeah, when you hit the more that you hit the like button, the more that you comment, those are actually the things that the YouTube algorithm recognizes to show it in the recommended section to other people. And that's how you grow the channel. And that, because, when I go and look at my analytics, it's surprising. Usually about 60% of the views are not subscribers or people who have watched the channel before. Usually about 50-60% of views on all the videos, especially if you see one that gets like 400 or 500 views, that's a lot of people that don't normally watch the channel. And that's because if you hit the like button and there's enough comments and likes in the first 12 hours, 24 hours, the algorithm picks it up and says, okay, we're going to keep recommending this video. I just got recommended my own video this morning that I released 5 days ago because it's been doing so good. It's the one where we, the Columbus recap, where we beat them like 9-2. It's almost got like 700 views. I stopped counting. After a couple of days, I don't pay attention. And then every once in a while, I'll go back and I'll notice every once in a while, one of them will pop up and get like 500, 800, 900 views. So, it all helps. It all helps. And, so 100 likes. How about this? 100 likes on this video, and I will get a Stu puppet for me. There we go. We'll get Stu his own puppet.
That I want to see, number one. And number two, I want to hear the voice.
Yeah. I have to work. I've got plenty of source
material. I don't want a Mexican accent, okay?
No. I could probably, I'm not going to try it now. No, but I could do it. I think I could do it. Yeah, I'd have to do it. All right, guys. So today is Wednesday. So we got Vegas tomorrow. Please. The
Vegas game's going to be, I'm more concerned about the Vegas game than the San Jose game.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously they're all big. Coming back home, obviously after, 2-week, 5-game road trip.
Yeah.
We know that's always
it's always
a tough game.
Yep.
I just want to see them come back and play Panther hockey because the last few games, I'm not going to say we were lucky to win the games we won, but we really didn't play like ourselves.
No, but you know what?
Even in the Edmonton game, the score is very deceiving.
Yeah.
6-0, you would think it was a total annihilation, but when you look at that first period, and Bob doing what he did, Edmonton could have easily been up 3 or 4 goals, and then that we probably wouldn't have come back from that.
No, and look, like I said it last night, we're getting better. We're getting a little bit better on each road trip, so that's something to look at. Is each road trip we've been playing a little bit better. If we would have had this trip earlier on, like one of the first trips after Brunette took over, I think it could have been one of those 1-4 disastrous trips, the way we were playing on the road.
I mean, we still had we still had 2 dog games.
Right.
Calgary and Seattle, we sucked.
Yeah, no, I know. But
again, I don't think we played all that great last night. We just we just played a bad team, and I mean, their defense needs a lot of work.
Yeah. No,
But I think once don't forget we played all of these games without Forsling.
Right.
And I'll pound it for the umpteenth time how important he is to our team.
And let's not leave out Hornquist. That fourth line is not the same without Hornquist.
All right, but more importantly,
yeah,
not having Forsling in there.
Yeah.
At least with the offense, you got 14 forwards or whatever that you can, move or jingle and jumble in and out of the lineup.
Right.
But the defense, you only have a limited amount of guys. And
yeah.
The Ekblad, Uyghur, Forsling, Gudis, Montour, and then that sixth guy, which Levy,
right? But
I think we're in agreement that he would probably be our number one choice.
Yeah.
But now, the way Prisky played, again, he's another right-handed shot, and I don't like the righty. We already have it with Uyghur and Ekblad. I don't want it with Montour and Prisky. I just think it's just a more efficient, defensive combo having that left-right.
I agree.
Pairing. Anyway, that's it.
All right, guys. We appreciate it. We will see you again Friday morning, and then the only other thing is Saturday doing the normal thing, Sunday morning doing the normal thing with Stu. Sunday, just for fun, I'm going to be live streaming the entire AFC Championship game. So I've never streamed a football game. I've had a few people ask me to do it, and so what the hell? It'll be fun. We'll have fun with it. No puppets. I won't bring any puppets. So Stu can come on and watch for 5 minutes if he wants to. All right.
No
guys.
interest in football whatsoever. In fact, everybody was talking about this, the Buffalo, what is it?
Buffalo, Kansas City game.
Buffalo, Kansas City game. I didn't see it. I don't know what happened.
Basically, if you put it in hockey terms, the teams combined to score 3 goals in the last minute. Then they went to overtime and somebody won.
Okay, so that's what happened. Because I heard Buffalo had the game, and it was just like
it was in the last 2 minutes. It was the Chiefs scored and were winning, the Buffalo scored and were winning, and then the Chiefs scored and tied in the last 2 minutes, and then they went to overtime and the Chiefs won. So it was crazy. I didn't watch it. My brother was watching it, texting me the results while I was watching the Panther game, and he texted me. There was like 18 or 13 seconds left when Buffalo scored and took the lead, and he's like, Buffalo wins.
Okay, so they left them too much time.
Yeah, exactly. It was like we scored
in football, just like in basketball, 13 seconds is a long time.
Yeah, it was crazy. So, all right, guys, we will see you
again.
All
right,
man. Yep. Oh, what did I do? I just accidentally put it on full screen. Now I'm all screwed up. Stop recording. The button